What is love in a world drowning in tears? That feeling of crying to only find that you are still in your body once more. That is the gift of life. The gift of life is that it runs through a flow, and so often we forget this because we are fixated on the past. That we forget that it all just goes down the river at the end, and every single day is awakened once more, brand new opportunities, brand new moments. It's cosmology. It's Cosmology 101. And so, in this video, I want to talk about what theosophy is. There are two types of theosophy. The ancient theosophy is the lowercase one. It is the practice of embodying yourself with a divine consciousness, and therefore you act as a channel. The other type of theosophy has a capital T, and that was introduced by the Theosophical Society, who has their own concept of theosophy. So, it's very important to know the difference between the lowercase and the uppercase, because that way you can distinguish between both of them. Because Helena Blavatsky, she does not have a monopoly on theosophy. She was the one that really capitalized on it and made it her own terminology, and she popularized it into her own movement. So there would be theosophy without her, but it just wouldn't be as popular in the zeitgeist, not even saying that theosophy is popular, because it's not. Why is that? It's because there is an understanding that only a few of the few, will actually attain the ability to do theosophy. That is a simple truth. And we know who those people are the moment we look at them. Only certain people have that gift. And so, what the Theosophical Society wanted to do was uplift that gift. That gift of being able to be a channel. Because Helena Blavatsky was a channel for the occult. And it doesn't discount her own quest for knowledge and her own research and her own hard work. It is the practice at play here. When you perform theosophy, you are actually giving advice. That's what it is. The ancient theosophy is basically teaching the mystic lessons, the words of the sage. That is why the true theosophist is the priest. The true theosophist is the shaman. The true theosophist is the mystic. Because when you feel that you have embodied divine consciousness, you're able to give answers. And you give the answers in such a humble way that you are open to self-correction in that very moment. Because when you have divine consciousness, you break polarity. Polarity is broken because you see the flow of the universe. Everything's in a circle. Left and right is broken. Up and down is broken. It is a fullness at play here. That you truly have this sense of being connected up here. That is theosophy, the ancient sense. And so, when time passed by, eventually the concept was monopolized by Helena Blavatsky. And I want to go into the next phase of this conversation. And that is the difference between philosophy, the love for wisdom, and theosophy, which is the study of God's mind. Okay? If philosophy is the study of wisdom, theosophy is the study of God's mind. Because if you are truly giving your best, that's not even the best word for it. If you are truly giving your naked consciousness, your conscience will come out of your consciousness. This device within you to distinguish between right and wrong, your conscience, and having that awareness of it. So you're conscious, and you're able to vocalize it. And so someone giving their best advice with their full heart, that is divine. That is divine. It doesn't mean that they are God. And that is why sometimes I am at odds with some of the notions within the Theosophical Society, because I am not God. And you are not God. Why? Because we are emanations. We are emanations of God's love. We must maintain humility. Please. Just because you embody divine consciousness, that's just your inner higher self coming out. That does not mean you're God. And sometimes people want to say that they're gods and goddesses, and it's a compliment to people. And I notice it's easier to do with women than to do with men. It's easier to call a woman a goddess than to call a man a god. But if you're going to play that way, you'll soon see that you're not a god at all, and that you're a mortal with flesh and a human with tears, and that you need sleep, and that you need food, and that you need water. You will soon see that you are ungodly. And so, therefore, the practice of theosophy should not be corrupted by this notion of being God. Because true, and I don't want to discount people who felt like they were emboldened, but still, come on now. Come back to earth. Come back to your skin. Don't think you are God, because that's what a fool's investigation into the universe. That's all. Because we are able to play with words, and we're able to play with our personality. But there will always be a consequence to that. And so going back to my distinction between philosophy, the love for wisdom, and theosophy, divine consciousness, is that theosophy gives answers and philosophy asks questions. That is the main difference between the two, is that philosophy will ask questions until you're in the circle all over again, whereas theosophy will give you the answer and you will be able to move forward. Why? Because theosophy depends more on lessons and more on human experiences than philosophy, because philosophy wants to tear apart human experiences in the analytical realm, whereas theosophy wants to give solutions in the real-life world. And those who are able to do it, those are the ones that you're coming to advice for. They're the ones practicing theosophy right before your eyes and you have no idea. All of those ones who saved you with their love and their words and their actions, maybe somehow, someway, they are practicing theosophy. But if they truly did call themselves sages, and they truly did help you, then they were true theosophists. That's all. I want people to see the difference. So this is a video to circulate for your introductory understanding of theosophy.